And tonight on our Great American panel, he was a former pollster for President Jimmy Carter, an advisor to George McGovern's failed presidential campaign. Fox News contributor Pat Goodell is here. She is a board member of Resurgent Republican strategist. Leslie Sanchez is back, and he is a Republican candidate for New York's 5th congressional district. He's challenging Congressman Gary Ackerman. Dr. James Milano is also with us. Guys, good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, everybody's upset. All the polls show that this is going to be a political tsunami. Look at Chris Christie taking on an angry, upset New Jersey teacher. This has gone viral. Look at this.
First of all, I have not lambasted the public school system in the state of New Jersey. What I have lambasted, well, listen, let's start with this. I stood here and very respectfully listened to you. If what you want to do is put on a show and giggle every time I talk, well, then I have no interest in answering your question. So if you'd like to conduct a respectful conversation, I'm happy to do it. If you don't, please go and sit down and I'll answer the next question. What's your choice?
Perfect. It's just awesome. And there's people say, "Oh, Christie." He's up against liberal unions, liberal Democratic Trenton, liberal media, and he just goes above their head. It reminds me a little bit of Reagan in that way, and successfully communicates to New Jersey, and they love it.
Well, two different things. He doesn't cede any ground. He knows where he stands, but he has an authentic voice, and I think that's what people are looking for. And what a contrast with the town hall hearings and health care when people were really concerned, and then it turned to political theater, and a lot of Democrats were running and hiding when people were trying to take on an issue.
You're a doctor running for Congress? Are you out of your mind giving up such a great profession?
Well, I'm going to make a house call to Washington.
Good answer. Well, it seems to me...
It's not only authentic, but this is somebody telling the truth, and he doesn't really care where the chips fall. And people are so desperate to see that. And by the way, there are no talking points. This guy doesn't do talking
it's all off
points.
the cuff. Are you able to do this? I mean, do you sense the mood is so dramatically different?
I do. I do sense a change in the mood. What I really would like to see is I'd like to see the people that have lost their jobs, and I'd like to have some blame thrown at the union leaders that are running away with rock star paychecks while not paying any heed into what the wants are of the people that are paying the dues, and that's a disconnect.
One of the things he did is he put a salary freeze on increases on teachers for 1 year, and it was a very difficult thing to do. He froze a lot of salaries, but you looked at the voting and the polls, and about 65% of the people supported him. He got 60% of independents. People know reform is difficult, but he's making reasonable choices, and they can appreciate that.
The patience game. I am telling everybody, do not. Look, the liberals want to raise expectations that if the Republicans got 90 seats and took over the Senate, they'd view it as a loss.
Well, that's what's going to happen.
They're trying to play that game, but let's look at the reality. Reality intensity is high among Republicans and independents. They want to get out.
The intensity's not going to win.
Well, don't forget the October surprise and all the dirty tactics that we're about to win.
I think if you poll most Democrats now, you'll find quite a few Democrats will not be voting for the Democratic candidates.
They're not running with Obama.
Quick break, right back. More with our great. Where do you see this at? We come back straight ahead. And we continue now with our Great American panel. So the big story has been the last number of days, not only the Ground Zero Mosque, but this pastor with a parishioner base of 50 that was planning to burn the Quran. Big issue in New York where you are. What's the reaction in your district?
Well, I don't believe you should burn the Quran, but I think that the president, instead of apologizing to the rest of the world, should tell the rest of the world, stop burning the American flag. I think that we shouldn't burn the Quran, and no one should burn the American flag. But it is a big issue in my district. And as well as the mosque not going up. No one wants to erect a mosque so close to the World Trade Center. I just think it bodes poorly for the face of Islam in this country. And
Imam Rayouf basically suggesting that, we get the mosque or guess what, America's going to be
killed.
Yeah, I'm with that side. I think 50 people get together in a garage and say, radical things, and all of a sudden everybody's running, the AP, New York Times, everybody else is running to him. I think we have a responsibility to ratchet it down. Anybody can say anything.
The backfire in this country over this is people realize they're tired of being pushed like this. It's bad.
Right. Let me go to an ad. Meg Whitman is running for governor of the great state of California. She's actually leading Jerry Brown, the former governor, and she came out what I think is one of the best ads so far this election season. Let's roll this.
Jerry Brown's good old days. But what really happened?
CNN, not me, CNN says his assertion about his tax record was, quote, just plain wrong. Jerry Brown went out there and took credit for the fact that the people of California voted for Proposition 13, which lowered taxes, which he opposed. And now he's going around taking credit for it. He raised taxes as governor of California. He had a surplus when he took office and a deficit when he left. He doesn't tell the people the truth.
Fantastic.
Like it.
Fantastic. You know,
Most devastating political ad of the season.
Isn't that great?
You got to love when
great.
Democrats
I
turn
love that
it.
it comes out on the same day that they announced Bill Clinton's going on the stump for like
was
desperate Democrats.
perfect.
But it also points to the reality. There's a lot of conservative Democrats really frustrated with the economic turn in the country, and she's going to need that support to win in California.
What's interesting is there's all these Democrats voted for stimulus and health care. None of them are running on their record. None of them.
There isn't the fact that not one Democrat will run an ad for the health care program.
Not one.
Remember, I said, production and I said from the beginning, this is a disaster. The party will be killed for this, and they are going to be
That's
killed
because
for it.
facts are a stubborn thing. You can't get away from the facts. The numbers don't add up, and you can't spin it anymore. And they're going to run away from every issue that's fact-oriented.